Welcome to Live Interactive English. My name is Sydney.
And I am Mike. Welcome back, everyone. We finished off on Friday with day one of our Walking to Health article, 4 Common Myths about walking. Walking is real exercise.
It is.
In fact, the WHO says moderate walking is a good exercise. Try to get 150 minutes a week. And you are doing good for your body. And hey, if you're walking and you feel kind of comfortable and you're not sweating and, getting all hot and tired, that's okay. It's still exercise. You don't have to sweat a lot to call it exercise. That was myth number 2.
Yeah.
We also said, Sydney and I, that we are both big fans of walking for fun, for pleasure, for exercise. What is your favorite place? You can pick Taipei, you can pick Taiwan, you can pick the whole world to go for a nice walk.
You know where I really love to go for a nice walk?
Yes.
I would say it would have to be a tie between my local park.
Okay.
And I really love to take a nice long walk on the beach.
Ooh, that's good.
I think a lot of people forget that the beach is also a lovely place to walk. You can wear sneakers if you want, or you can take them off. I like to take off my flip-flops and kind of feel the sand between my toes and let the ocean water hit my feet, and I'm hearing the waves and I'm walking, or maybe I'm listening to some music or a podcast. And I'm just kind of, I reach flow state when I'm kind of just walking on the beach nice and casually.
Very natural, relaxed state, yet your body just feels so smooth.
Yes.
Like it's working perfectly. And I also think maybe walking in the sand is a little more exercise.
I think
right?
so, because every time you step, your foot kind of sinks a little bit into the sand.
There you go. Yeah. I was thinking, because I know you're a big fan of this place too, I was going to say, because I had some wonderful walks there last year, Paris.
Oh,
it's a great walking city,
yes,
right?
It
a
really
few
is.
hills, not too bad, beautiful things to see all around. But, I could probably throw in a lot of places. Tokyo is a great place to go for a walk. There's so many levels to the subway. You can really go for a walk just by getting lost in one of the train stations or something like that. So do you guys have a favorite place to take a nice walk? You can chat about that. We're going to come back after this with the myth number 3, the third myth that we're going to be looking at, and it's going to be very interesting. So please join us for that.
Myth 3. You have to walk fast to see results. It is often thought that if you aren't power walking like you're late for a flight, it doesn't count. Although it's true that higher speeds do burn more calories per minute, the real key to making the most of walking is consistency. Of course, if you prefer to add more intensity, you can try walking up hills or at a slightly faster pace. However, a comfortable walk will also strengthen your body. Focus on regular movement and your health will thank you.
All right, so let's get started with day 2 of Walking to Health, 4 Common Myths. And now we are going to move right on to myth number 3.
That's right, day 2, but myth number 3. I was holding up the wrong number when you were saying day 2. It is day 2, but it's myth number 3. Yeah. What is this one? You have to walk fast to see results. Interesting. When we talk about seeing results, especially from exercise, that's just kind of another way of saying to make it good for you, right? In other words, if you look in the mirror after a week or 2 of walking, you should see that you're skinny, that you're looking healthier in some kind of way. And the idea here is, well, for it to be really good for you, to burn fat and to lose weight and all that kind of thing, right? The type of thing we exercise for, you have to walk fast. So just kind of walking easily, slowly, in a relaxed way around is not enough. You got to power walk, you got to speed walk, you got to kind of turn it from walking into like exercise or something. And what is the answer here? What is the truth here? It says, it is often thought that if you aren't power walking, like you're late for a flight, it doesn't count. All right, so that would be a more intense form of walking as an exercise. Power walking. Sometimes you'll see people in the park and they're swinging their arms and they're walking real fast. Sometimes they're carrying 2 bottles of water or something, or they have these weights on their ankles, right, to make it harder to move their legs. And they're trying to, you know, make themselves breathe harder, sweat more, have their heart rate beat faster while still walking. But of course, that's different from the way we normally walk around. That's why we call that exercise power walking. So in other words, if it's not power walking, it's not exercise. That's what some people would say.
Right. Now, here it says, although it's true that higher speeds do burn more calories per minute, the real key to making the most of walking is consistency. Again, we're coming back to that word consistency, right? Doing something on a regular basis.
Absolutely. Because yes, when we're talking about losing weight and burning fat, calories are one of those words we use a lot. If you're looking at food and how healthy it is, it might list the number of calories per serving. A calorie, it's a measurement of basically heat. And I think it's how much heat you need to raise a liter of water by 1 degree or something like that. But really it translates into how much energy can we get from this food. I think the average man should be eating around 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day. I think women, it's around 1,500 to 2,000. And well, like a giant cheeseburger will be like 800 or 1,000 calories or something. But an apple might be 100 calories or 50 or something like that. So when we talk about calories, eating fewer calories or burning calories by exercising, that's what we're talking about. And yes, if you want to lose weight, you need to eat fewer calories and burn more by moving your body. For example, for this word, the label shows how many calories are in each serving, and of course, lower numbers are generally healthier. All right, let's go over to Hanny. She's going to burn some calories with us and for us by using our brains. So let's listen to what she has to say.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们今天要继续破解另外2个关于走路的迷思。第3个迷思是必须走得快才能看到成效。那人们常以为如果走路速度不像赶飞机一样，就起不了什么作用了。虽然速度快确实可以让我们每分钟燃烧更多热量，可是真正关键还是在于持之以恒。好 ，calorie 这个名词就是卡路里，是热量单位。Mike 老师在讲到每份食物有多少热量时，用到 serving 这个字就可以指1份1克的食物。然后一个重点是 it is thought that 主词加动词表示一般认为怎么样。这里的 it 是虚主词，代替后面的 that 子句。那么 think 的被动语态用来表达一般认为怎么样。然后你还可以把 that 子句的主词移到句首，写作主词 be thought to 加原形动词。我们也补充一下这类句型中的动词，除了用 think， 你还可以用 believe、say、report、expect 等等。举例来说，It is thought that soy milk is a good source of protein. 也可以说 soy milk is thought to be a good source of protein. 一般认为豆浆是良好的蛋白质来源。接话课文中。
Okay, so walking is still exercise even if you aren't power walking. Yes, you may be burning fewer calories, but you're still burning calories. It still counts as exercise. But hey, if you want to make it more exercise-like by power walking or other things, sure, go ahead. As it says, of course, if you prefer to add more intensity or make it a harder exercise, you can try walking up hills. There's an idea. Or at a slightly faster pace. So instead of just your comfortable normal walking speed, do your I'm late for the bus walking speed. Or walk up hills or carry weights, you know, put a bunch of books in a bag and wear them on your back, or do the water bottle thing, and that can make it slightly more intense, or you can burn slightly more calories that way.
Yeah, no, slightly, right? Slightly here, slightly is an adverb, and slightly just means a little bit more. Again, I think on Friday, right, we kind of talked a little bit about how if you're trying to catch a flight in the airport, maybe you would walk slightly faster faster.
Right.
So you can make your airplane. Slightly just means to go or to just do a little bit more. So for example, we could say, I noticed my friend's style has started to change slightly. Just a little bit, slight changes. Yeah, to move slightly faster, just to go a little bit more.
Okay, not a total change, just a little change,
Small
but
change.
Enough to see. And you should walk maybe at a slightly faster pace. Now, your pace is basically how fast you're walking, right? It's kind of like the beats in a song. That might be the tempo of something. The pace of something is very similar. If you're walking slowly, left, right, that's a pretty comfortable pace. If you're late for something, left, right, that's a much faster pace. Okay, a pace can also be the distance of one step, but when we talk about someone's pace, generally we're kind of just talking about how fast or slowly they are walking. For example, the runners ran at a similar pace during the race, because of course most of them are trying to get around the same time. But yes, if you're a marathon runner, you'll be running at a much slower pace than if you're doing like the 100 meters where you run as fast as possible at the fastest pace you can manage.
Yeah. All right, now let's continue on here. So it says here, however, a comfortable walk will also strengthen your body. Okay, strengthen, like to make your body stronger. All right. So it says here to focus on regular movement and your health will thank you. Okay,
that's true.
Focus on regular movement, right? Like just doing, you don't need to do anything too intense.
Right.
You don't need to be lifting the heaviest weights or running the highest hills or doing the heaviest squat. Regular movements can really do your body well and show a lot of health benefits, right? And to strengthen your body, like I said, to strengthen just means to be stronger, right? Make your body stronger, make your heart stronger, even strengthen your mind, right? When it comes to walking and mental health. So an example sentence here would be, we need to find a way to strengthen our argument. Okay. So strengthen your argument. Maybe you're having a bit of a debate. Maybe you're a lawyer in a courtroom and you need to make your argument stronger. You need to strengthen your argument or kind of provide more facts to kind of prove your point.
More facts, more proof, things like that. Well, make it stronger, make it better, just like exercise is good for your body. All right, we're going to go to Hanny. She will strengthen our grammar knowledge. And for that, we thank her.
课文提到，如果想要提升强度，你可以尝试爬坡或稍微加快步伐。不过，轻松舒适的步行同样可以强健身体。好 ，slightly 这个副词是稍微的、轻微的、一点点。Pace 名词表示步伐、速度、节奏。Mike 老师说的 tempo， 它也可以指节奏、步调或是速度。Strengthen 是动词，它是指增强、巩固或强化。这句话课文中。
Okay, that is myth number 3. You do not need to be a power walker to say I'm walking for health. Any kind of walking is good for you, and be consistent with it. It's much better to go out there and have a nice relaxed walk 4 or 6 times a week, rather than go out and do a super long 2-hour power walk one day out of the week. Your body will be much better off with that regular, consistent, but nice and moderate, nice and easy exercise. Remember that. Let's go to part 2. We got one more myth to bust. Let's find out what this one is.
Myth 4. You must walk 10,000 steps a day. This notion started as a marketing idea in Japan many years ago. However, it has never been an official health recommendation. Research shows that health benefits can begin at around 4,000 steps per day for many adults. More movement is usually better, but some activity is much better than doing nothing. If 10,000 steps feels too hard, start with a smaller goal and build up slowly. Walking may seem simple, but it offers real health benefits for your heart, body, and mind. You don't need to run, sweat heavily, or hit a 10,000 step goal because even daily walks add up to big improvements in your well-being.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We have one more myth for you guys before we say goodbye to this article, all about the health benefits of walking. Here's one. I think this is the one many of us have heard before, or probably familiar with. Myth number 4, you must walk 10,000 steps a day. 10,000 steps a day. A lot of people can keep that fixed in their mind. That is my goal. That is what I must do. I know a guy, he's got one of those health watches. He walks at work when we're taking breaks.
Oh,
he just does
okay.
this, and we say, "Are you doing your 10,000 steps?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm doing my 10,000. 9,400. No, I'm almost there." So he's always going for it. That's his target. That's his goal. That is kind of what he thinks is, if I do this, this will be good for me. 9,000, 8,000. That's not enough. I got to do 10,000 steps a day.
Well, at least he's consistent.
He is consistent, and I admire him, although he looks kind of funny standing there pretending to walk. But is this something that he should actually be doing? Does this all make sense? Does the science all kind of line up and show this is true? Let's find out. It says this notion, or this idea, started as a marketing idea in Japan many years ago. A marketing idea? That's not doctors, that's business people trying to sell stuff. Why are we listening to them for health advice? That's a good question. However, it has never been an official health recommendation. So the marketing people, maybe they're selling shoes or something, they're like, hey, 10,000 steps a day, you got to do that. But it's never been an official health recommendation. No doctor, the government of Japan, the WHO, no scientist or, a hospital or anything like that has ever come out and said, yes, that is true, 10,000 steps is what you need to do.
Wow.
All right,
let's keep going.
So what is the number?
I know.
Is it 15,000?
Right, is it more? Is it
20?
less?
Yes.
I mean, my gosh.
Right, what does the science say in other words?
All right, it says here that research shows that health benefits can begin at around 4,000 steps per day for many adults. Okay, so we got the number. Health benefits kick in around 4,000 steps.
A lot less.
A lot less.
A lot easier.
You don't need to be, power walking in the office or, looking at your Fitbit or your health watch. Like, I have to get to the 10. 4,000 sounds like that's also okay.
That's pretty reasonable. That seems very doable, as we might say, or possible. And this is, of course, research. Now, research is a much better place to get your science facts than from some marketing guy at a shoe company, because research is about science. It's about experiments. It's about having an idea and then setting up some tests to test your idea. Is my idea right? Is it wrong? Is it true? Is it false? Is it a fact? Or is it just not quite a fact? And that's how they do research. They make tests, they make experiments, they do data, and then other people will take those tests and experiments. They will also do them. If they get the same results, then that research, all of that investigation and testing will throw up facts and knowledge and information and things that we can trust and rely on, because very smart people have tested it in a million different ways and they know it is either true or not true. Or maybe they're like, we still don't know, because research, of course, is always going on. For example, Damien's research is focused on modern art. So he's researching different artists, maybe the types of paints they used or all sorts of different things. But that is where his scientific focus and his research is going on. All right, back to our article. It says, more movement is usually better, but some activity is much better than doing nothing. That is very true. So yes, 4,000 steps is great. 6,000 is better. 8,000 is even better. But of course, 4,000 is better than 0 is what we're saying here. So if you can't do 10,000, do 4,000. If you can do more than that, great. But anything is better than nothing. It says, if 10,000 steps, and that is a lot.
It is.
If 10,000 steps feels too hard, start with a smaller goal and build up slowly. There you go. Try to go for 2 or 3, and then you get to 4, and you can go, yay! And you can do that for a while. I mean, when I do 10,000 steps, I think I'm like on a holiday, I'm a tourist, or it was one of those just really busy days when I was working, and then I went here, and then I went there, and I get home, and my legs are quite tired. Right? So through my normal day, I can usually usually get 6,000, 7,000 steps, no problem.
Yeah, and according to research, you're doing
good.
great.
That's
you're
fine.
Doing great. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. You know who else is great?
Who's that?
Henny.
She's got 10,000 amazing things to tell us.
All right.
So we'll be back
Let's find
in
out.
a couple of days.
第4个迷思是每天必须走1万步。其实这个观念从来都不是官方的健康建议。研究显示，对许多成年人来说，每天大约4000步就可以开始带来健康益处。所以，如果你觉得1万步太难了，不妨就先设定比较小的目标，再慢慢增加。单字 research 名词，它表示研究。那这边有一个重点是 build up。它表示逐渐增加、累积，可以当及物或不及物用，表达说积聚增加什么，或是某事物它逐渐累积、发展或形成。我们先看及物用法的例句 ：These exercises will help you build up your strength。这些运动将会帮助你增强体力。然后来看不及物用法的例句 ：Dust has started to build up all over the apartment。整间公寓到处都开始积灰尘了。那我们接回课文中。
All right, thank you so much, Hanny. Now we're going to continue on.
Yes.
So it says here that walking may seem simple or it may seem easy, but it offers real health benefits for your heart, body, and mind.
There you go. It's not just a way to get from here to there. It can be also a way to get you from not so good health to much better health. As it says, you don't need to run, sweat heavily, or hit a 10,000 step goal because even daily walks add up to big improvements in your well-being. A little bit of exercise regularly is much better than none. I mean, this is so true.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's the same with English. You know, reading a little bit of your favorite comic book in English every day is much better than like, I'm not going to do English. Now I'm going to read Harry Potter from beginning to end and finding that really hard and then quitting and, you know, doing all that. It's much better to do a little bit regularly than try to be the best in the world or, you know, do something really challenging that you're not ready for.
Yeah.
So this is a good thing to remember, and you'll find it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, and honestly, a little bit of consistency every day goes a long way.
It is the slow but sure path to success.
Yes.
As is listening to our friend Hanny. If you listen to Hanny and do exactly what she says, you will have an amazing life.
课文最后提到，每天持续步行，慢慢累积下来，就能大幅提升你整体的身心健康哦。那这边有一个重点是 add up to， 表示数量总计达到什么，累积成某种结果，或者是总结是什么。像 all of our life experiences add up to who we are today， 所有的生活经验加总起来，造就了现在的我们。好，接话课文中。
All right, so we have a what do you think question here. So I guess I can ask you.
All right.
So the question says, why is it important to avoid misunderstandings about exercise?
Ooh, that's a good question. Avoiding misunderstandings, not understanding things, getting the wrong or bad information about exercise. Well, yeah, I say if we have misunderstandings about exercise, it's easy to do the wrong thing or do something in the wrong way, but think it's the right thing to do. And I think exercise is especially hard. There's trends in exercise, right? Oh, this is the new exercise. You got to do this. And so people start to believe that. Or there's misinformation out there. I mean, a lot of us still follow the advice or guidance from our parents or our gym teacher from years ago. Maybe the science has changed. Maybe their information isn't so right. And then throw in the internet and people trying to sell you stuff by telling you certain things. So I think it's very important because you don't want to exercise or make poor decisions.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, you also want to make sure that people are actually taking the step to exercise. A lot of times if people have misinformation or misunderstanding, it gets confusing and then it stops them from exercising at all. I'm not going to hit my 10,000 steps. I don't want to walk because they say it's not real. I never sweat whenever I'm in the gym, so I must be doing it wrong. I'm just going to quit. And it's like, no, you can exercise and not sweat. You can walk and still feel good. You can, you know, as long as you you exercise at least a little bit. That's the most important thing.
That is the best little bit of information and the best little bit of habit to pull away from our article from today and from last week. Of course, so walk your way to good health. Maybe you'll see us out in the park and you can give us a wave as we walk by each other on our path to health. Until then, walk well, everyone, and bye-bye.
All right.
Myth 3. You have to walk fast to see results. It is often thought that if you aren't power walking like you're late for a flight, it doesn't count. Although it's true that higher speeds do burn more calories per minute, the real key to making the most of walking is consistency. Of course, if you prefer to add more intensity, you can try walking up hills or at a slightly faster pace. However, a comfortable walk will also strengthen your body. Focus on regular movement and your health will thank you. Myth 4. You must walk 10,000 steps a day. This notion started as a marketing idea in Japan many years ago. However, it has never been an official health recommendation. Research shows that health benefits can begin at around 4,000 steps per day for many adults. More movement is usually better, but some activity is much better than doing nothing. If 10,000 steps feels too hard, start with a smaller goal and build up slowly. Walking may seem simple, but it offers real health benefits for your heart, body, and mind. You don't need to run, sweat heavily, or hit a 10,000 step goal because even daily walks add up to big improvements in your well-being.
最后我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 calorie 名词，表示卡路里，是热量单位。slightly 副词，表示稍微的、轻微的、一点点。那么 pace 它是名词，表示步伐、速度、节奏。strengthen 动词，表示增强、巩固或强化。research 当名词，表示研究。文法部分，第一个学到 it is thought 加上 that 子句，是一般认为怎么样。第二个学到 build up 表示逐渐增加、累积。第三个学到 add up to 表示数量总计达到什么，累积成某种结果，或是总结是什么什么。那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
What used to be police dormitories during the Japanese colonial era now serves as the Taichung Literature Museum venue. Literature consists of written works that transmit culture, history, and ideas. If you're a fan of literature, why not pay a visit to the Taichung Literature Museum venue? The Taichung Literature Museum consists of 6 buildings. Permanent Exhibition Hall number 1 is the largest and the most exquisite of them all. Its permanent collection focuses on the theme of time and explores the origins and development of literature in Taichung. Permanent Exhibition Hall number 2 centers on the theme of people and features interactive displays that help visitors better understand the local literary scene. The lecture hall is where writers and poets share their thoughts and lead workshops, while the Special Exhibition Hall hosts temporary exhibitions on different themes. The Children's Literature area offers a cozy reading space and a collection of children's literature. The literature-themed restaurant serves beverages and light meals. Last but not least, don't miss the 3-story tall banyan tree, which enhances the museum's tranquil atmosphere. The Taichung Literature Museum venue is an ideal place for visitors to appreciate the beauty of literature and poetry. It's a peaceful and relaxing place to explore, and it definitely deserves a spot on your must-see list in Taichung City.